Ms. Clerk. Can you call the roll if you're not busy? Establish a quorum.
Merry Christmas. Ms. Fodor. Ms. General. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Coe. Ms. Palestrini. Here. Mr. Robinson.
President. Please rise if you're able and sing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Stuhler's going to lead us tonight.
Definitely, well, I gotta go home.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you can't make on your clerk, can you? Yeah, great. Good evening. Is anybody signed up to speak tonight?
This evening.
All right. Before you, you have the meeting minutes from December 4th, 2025. Please review them at this time.
Sorry.
And if there are any changes, we will entertain them, or we can approve them as they are presented.
If I could, under H,
H.
just at the bottom, trustee Palestrini explained if we do add construction.
Oh,
And it was that I asked to explain what happens if you don't add new construction.
yeah, can we just add a little bit more?
Just a little bit more to that. And then one other thing then, if we could, under 11 for the committee reports, it was a joke when I asked if there'd be snacks.
I was just wondering if you noticed.
It was, and it's cute, but,
So do you want like jokingly?
yeah, just,
Like, would you like jokingly inflection?
no,
Or just remove?
we could
No,
just,
I'll remove it.
I know. So I'm like, wait a second.
But it's not on the agenda, as I said.
Under the engineering report, trustee Kelly asked about, so that last paragraph, we could just clarify that it was for the safe routes to school, just so what the grant amount was for, because that's what the question was, if I'm correct.
Right about here. Right about here.
Number 10 at the very bottom.
Oh, yes.
Above 11.
Just to clarify what grant he was talking about, that's all.
Oh, the safe route to school.
The safe routes
Got
to
it.
school. And I think people would appreciate knowing that too. So those are my changes.
I have one change. Right above trustee Kelly, there's trustee Kothe with an E. You talking about
Kothe.
the
It's just like, just Jimmy got it. Kofi.
He's not here to defend himself, so I thought I would. Any other changes? I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes with the changes presented this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we have the accounts payable in the amount of $546,102.50. Any questions?
Are there none for individuals?
No, not tonight, and it's not on the agenda for, so we don't need to
So
table.
we don't need to table one more. Okay.
We only table the amount, when it's on the agenda.
Okay.
For the individuals.
But I think I just have
I
one.
think it's inside of here though. It's on page.
The tables are together.
Correct.
Yeah, there is a person.
So why did we approve them separately before? We're not doing it now.
I don't know why you guys approved me separately before.
There's no state statute saying that we need to do so?
Unequivocally, no.
Perfect. I like this.
Let's go.
And then merged them last.
I remember that years ago, we used to keep them combined, and then we were advised by legal counsel that we needed to separate them.
And you
And
don't have to keep them separate.
thank you. I like that you have the inflection of the offspring.
I don't know what you're talking about, Master.
So as long as I'm good with moving forward the way they are, because it was always confusing.
Page 6, just under fence connection. I'm just curious as to what fence we're talking about.
Page what?
Number 6, page 6.
iPad page 6? Yes.
Yes.
Page
Fence
Page-
Fence, okay.
fence connection gave $7,600. Yeah. And I was just trying to find out what that was. what fence we built. It was thought that it was the wood fence for that. Okay.
No, it's the fence that is at the wastewater treatment plant. So I think that there's some of it that's, they repaired the gate, and then, there's iron gate in the front, and there's chain link fence around in the back, and I believe that there was some chain link that was, repaired as well. Oh, the gate.
All right.
You okay?
Clock stop itself. Entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable.
Second.
Questions and comments? Roll call vote, please.
Jernerbro.
Aye.
Kelly.
All right.
Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini.
Aye.
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have an ordinance approving the text amendment to chapter 2 of the Hampshire Municipal Code regarding ATVs and UTVs and golf carts. If you remember, we talked a couple of meetings ago about changing the language in the ordinance that was passed originally after the 6-month evaluation to include gasoline-powered UTVs in that. So staff adjusted the ordinance to change that language, and it is presented for you this evening. Does anyone have any questions?
Any vehicles not allowed in the old ordinance, but allowed in the new ordinance would require registration?
They would have to follow the same process as the golf carts, and it's important to know that it doesn't matter how fast they can go, they need to follow our speed limits.
Correct.
And that kind of, abide by the rules of the road.
We literally struck the word electric from the entire ordinance.
Okay.
That was it. So just took out that restriction.
Sidewalks, right?
No.
No.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion approving an ordinance, a text amendment to the ordinance allowing gas UTVs.
So moved.
Second. Questions, comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini.
Aye.
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor.
Aye.
And Ms. Jernerbro.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Next, we have ordinances for the levies and assessments. These are kind of all bracketed together, but we're going to need to do separate votes on it. This is a yearly process that we do. We had the presentation last meeting. Ms. Lyons, is there anything you need to add to this, or should we just go through each one?
So I updated my presentation, based on the comments that you had made at the last meeting. And I highlighted which SSAs were moved down. I did contact, 17 people in my treasurer's group, from the area, regarding fund balance for SSAs. And, nobody had a policy with respect to that. The only comment that I got back that I felt was worthy of sharing with you is the fact that some municipalities simply levy for the amount that was budgeted. So that to me really didn't make a whole lot of sense, because if they over budgeted, then they would be over levying basically, whereas we actually take a look at what our anticipated expenses are and what the fund balance is. So I feel like our method is a little bit better, a better practice. So I'm happy to go through the presentation with you if you like again.
It's up to this
Oh, no.
board, Mr. Williams.
I'm just getting, I'm looking at the blue highlights in the levy line are the ones that changed, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. They all went,
There were none that went up.
They-
They were
okay.
correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was reading that correctly.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for going through those and
Certainly.
reaching out.
Are you guys comfortable voting, or do you want to go through the presentation?
I'm comfortable voting.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion approving an ordinance for the levy and assessment, SSA number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Because this has to do with money, we're gonna do roll call on each one. So, Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Sternbro? Aye. And Mr. Kelly?
No.
Next, the ordinance and the levy assessment for SSA number 3. I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Sternbro? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
No.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-1.
Next, there's an ordinance to approve the levy for an assessment for SSA number 6.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Sternbro? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
No.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-1.
Next, entertain an ordinance for levy and assessment for SSA number 7.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Sternbro? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
No.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
And Mr. Robinson? Motion passes 5-1.
Next ordinance for levy assessment for SSA number 8.
So moved.
Second.
Question, comments?
Mrs. Sternbro?
Thank you.
Mr. Kelly?
No.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson? And Ms. Fodor? Motion passes 5-1.
Ordinance and levy assessment for SSA number 10.
So moved. Seconded.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Kelly?
No.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Sternbro? Aye. Motion passes 5-1.
SSA number 11. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
We're doing number 11.
Second.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Ms. Sternbro? Aye. And Mr. Kelly?
No.
Motion passes 5-1.
Last but not least, SSA number 12.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Sternbro? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
No.
Mr. Coth?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-1.
All right. Thank you very much. Next, I'm gonna need some help from Ms. Niehausen on this, I think. Workers' compensation. Coverage.
Workers' compensation and our general liability for December 30th, 31 to December 1st. So, we went out for, shopping, so to speak. And as the agenda supplement says, we got bids back from 2 people or quotes back from 2 people. One which was Gallagher, who we have been with for
7 or 8 years,
7 or 8
probably.
years, and then ICRT through Alliant. You know, one of the things that I looked at when I started was our policies, not only just for workman's comp and general liability, but also looking at medical and stuff. And so we went out and ICRT came back with the bid that's in front of you. Lori and I talked a lot about it. The coverage that they bring to the table obviously surpasses what we had with Gallagher. We are growing. We have a lot of liability that we carry, and we need to make sure that we have the coverage to withstand anything that comes our way, so to speak. So Lori and I felt comfortable, even though with the added expense, that it was way better coverage for the village. So that is what we're putting in front of you.
Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Seehausen or Ms. Lyons?
Was Gallagher given an opportunity to provide a revised proposal
No,
with increased coverage to see what it would have cost?
no.
Do we, in the request for proposals, do we put in the amount of coverage that we would like to have bid for?
What we did is we sent everybody what our current coverage was and what we've had since probably 2014. And so Gallagher bid that, the other company chose not to bid. ICRMT did not think that coverage was sufficient for this village, so they did not bid. They bid over taking that chance. So this is the coverage that they recommended for this village and for the liability and the stuff that we have. I will also note that we have not been audited on any of our buildings in years. So we will be doing that as well because, you know, you know, I will tell you that I am familiar with ICRMT from my previous employer. And I have known them and worked with them since 2013 when we went through our big fire at our thing. And I had learned a lot, and there was a couple things that came up that we did not have, like ordinance of law coverage. And so there was a lot of things that, although I did not ask ICRMT to do anything other than what they did, Lori sent them the stuff, but they also, I will tell you that with all the big claims that we did have, our increases were not astronomical and they did not, you know, drop us or anything, but they provided this quote for what we have here with the caveat. And if you went through any of the paperwork, they also did our buildings a little higher than what Gallagher did because of the fact that we could not provide them with a current audit, you know, so every couple years they'll come out and they'll make sure that our buildings are quoted for what replacement cost would be, not what it was when we, you know, took it out 7 years ago, whatever. So every couple years they come out and they appraise our stuff. And they do that for free as well. But that's what helps us always stay up with replacement costs and, you know, having our buildings and our equipment appraised at the current rates.
Anyone else have any questions for staff? I'll entertain a motion to authorize staff to bind coverage for workers' compensation and business package insurances.
You're entertaining a motion?
Yes, sir.
We'll make your motion.
I think.
Questions and or comments?
Just one more then. So Gallagher basically responded then to how we listed the RFP, how we worded it was you gave the amount of coverage that we have right now and asked for them to bid for a price. The other company you said decided instead of doing that, they were going to go with what we think you should have.
They did not feel comfortable with the limits that we had.
So Gallagher was not asked the same.
So you don't ask them for, you know, you don't ask them to quote you for what, you know, we're not the professional, you know, we're not the experts in insurance, right? So when we go out to shop, we're looking for quotes to cover our liability, right? Workman's comp, you know, everybody looks at your losses and that kind of stuff. Workman's comp, you know, there was different amount there just based off of coverage. The liability, you don't say that you want $4 million with a $7 million umbrella. You ask them to come, you know, you're asking them to be the expert on what we need. Now, ICRT is they have a lot of municipal things. We don't have a lot of choices to go out for insurance with being a municipality. There's very few that will, Travelers wouldn't quote us, you know, there's not a lot of companies that will do municipal thing. Did we ask them to quote? We asked them to give us a quote on what our insurance needs are. So we don't go out for RFP telling them what we want. We're asking them to quote what we need.
But we've given them the list of what we have right now. So
We have them.
Mm-hmm. I'm uncomfortable with, we've used this company for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
Actually, look, it's been 10 years.
10 years with this company. We've had a good relationship with you. You've just stated there's only 2 companies that will even entertain.
A few, not 2. I don't know
Okay.
how many, but yeah.
A handful. We only got 2 bids. I don't want to burn a bridge with a company that we've worked well with without giving them the opportunity to come back and take a look at it.
So you want me to have them give us a quote on what ICRMT quoted us?
I mean, I think it's just a courtesy for them because we don't have a lot of vendors that do this, and I will come back to them at least to say, I mean, I think that's a courtesy we owe them after 10 years of being a client with them. That's just me. I just don't like burning a bridge and moving on to someone without giving them that opportunity.
I think it's inappropriate for a company that's been insuring us for 10 years. They should know our needs. We shouldn't be telling them our needs. They should have came out here and looked at the buildings and realized we haven't increased the insurance costs on any of these buildings. And I don't think it's fair now for another company that is doing it right to go and back to our old company and say, oh, by the way, you know, this is what they said. We want you to increase your stuff that you should have done as professionals and then give us a new bid. They had the bidding opportunity and they failed.
My only question is if we, let's say that we decided that we were going to give Gallagher another shot, does that mean we need to have an emergency board meeting to approve it, assuming, or our insurance lapses on December 31st?
Yeah, or you're gonna have to authorize us to go with what, you know, I mean, if you guys are going to do that, then we have a very short window to do that. And
I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do it in 2 weeks.
Well, then what are we gonna do with all the other bids for
Right.
any other work we get in the district here?
I agree.
Are we gonna go to the one guy that, or one company that bidded it? And so, you know, this company missed something, so here, this is what they bidded it, our coverage, so you need to readjust it. When they've been with us and they know what we have, they should have came out and did this all professional before they submitted a price.
Is that really bidding in good faith also? I mean, when you know that your competitors bid? No, I mean.
It's not really a bid thing, Mr. President. It's not really a formal bid process. Insurance is treated a little bit differently. It's not like putting down asphalt or putting down public works. So, but I get what you're saying. Like now you get to peek behind the veil, and do they get to peek behind the veil afterwards? And I think your argument is when do we stop, or do we just call it through? I think
They were given the opportunity. They're professionals. Each company is professionals. I'm sure they all have different rates on their computers that they go by.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity and they didn't do it.
Is this
So
They never communicated that they felt like we were underinsured. And as Ms. Seops stated, we are not insurance professionals, so we rely on them to tell us if they feel like we need to bump up values or those types of things.
Is this a 1 or 3 year contract?
the 1 year
For 1
contract.
year.
1 year. So when we go back out next year, we'll have new coverage limits that we put out, and then whoever the insurance company is will be
And
able to
every
see
year you
here's
should
what's.
shop unless there's a reason you shouldn't. There's, you know, if you ever come, you know, one time in all of the years that I did it is the year for 4 or 5 years after we had the fire. Because nobody's gonna touch you, right? You have one big claim and you're pretty much gonna be stuck, right? So we renew every year. I like to shop every year. I just do. I think it keeps everybody honest.
did this company inflate what they think we need?
I'm sorry.
Did this company inflate the,
They're a lot more than what we currently have.
But the trustee Coe asked that if you think that they inflated it, or if you think that that's where we need to be.
I think it's where we need to be for sure. I am not comfortable with what we have.
Can I say one thing too, just my experience? And I think Trustee Palestrini's statement is well taken, but I disagree with one point of it. I think this is such a commoditized business where I don't think there's gonna be hard feelings. It's not like going to a service provider. Hey, can we come back? And be like, no, thank you very much. Like, there's a lot of money that's taken, and it's somewhat, I always think of it as like corn. All commodities are corn, right? Insurance is kind of like that. I don't think that if we decided to go back to the market, that they would not bid us because of it. I think they'll bid. And then, because I've been through this where we've switched providers. I just wanted, it's kind of a unique thing, and it becomes more of a unique thing in the state of Illinois, in the northeastern part of the state of Illinois, which we still are, even though we're a little bit more west. because we can't get the same level of people bidding this anymore. It's becoming a smaller. Just my experience, and I'd be remiss not to share.
I understand that too then, but it's, if there's only, like, we've only got bids from two.
Mhm.
And you said that there's a handful. Why did the other
So
ones
if you
not?
look at the Gallagher, information, I'm pretty sure it listed all the companies
I
that,
won't touch it.
that they sought a bid from. Only one came back and actually,
Because Gallagher's the brokerage, not the actual insurance.
correct.
Correct. But because there's less underwriters and there's less brokers, because there's less of a market, like
And
it winnows down.
we did have, some comments between the three people that we reached out to. The third one was a company called Worthy Insurance, that they were locking each other out. So somebody reached out to Travelers, that locks all the other brokers out of Travelers, because Travelers, can only work with one broker. And then somebody else reached out, I think two people reached out to ICM. Yeah, and then, so we were getting lockouts because it is just a really small pool of people that will touch the municipal market.
Well, I do think, and I understand Trustee Palestrina, your point of view. I don't negate that we don't want to ruin relationships. I do think there is a statement of, our current coverages do not include a $14 million building that's going online in January.
Correct.
And to just reply with as if it was status quo and not taking that into account, I think it is fair to go back to them and say, we really appreciate the partnership and what we've had. You just didn't bid enough for what we feel is needed and didn't meet the requirements that the other
And we will
agency
have good
provides.
conversation with them. Like I said, I feel like we should shop every year unless we have a big claim. It is just good business. And it gives everybody the opportunity. And I do believe Gallagher will come back to the table. We had good conversations, good meetings with them. There was nothing, obviously they don't know where we stand right now, but when we sat down and went over the coverages and why they did what they did, one of the things that, was the workman's comp. We paid for over 3 years, $140,000, and I couldn't figure out why. And then they came back this year because we shopped and it dropped to 90. And our claims are nothing to speak of, so, and workman's comp. So, it is good to always go out and shop.
What happens when we don't, it's only two companies at this point then, so if Gallagher doesn't come back next year, we don't have a choice.
Oh, there's more.
Right, so listen, one broker can come back with three. Okay, the fact of the matter is we used three different brokers because they were knocking on our door. Okay, and so those three brokers went out to all these companies and locked each other out. So if you have one broker, say we go with Gallagher and say, just shop for us. They're going to go to ICRMT, they're going to go to the ones that they have. It's not like going for your car insurance by any means, but the fact of the matter that we had three separate brokers going for the limited pool is why it's like it is. But at the end of the day, I think there was one that wouldn't quote, it's very strange on how they do it. I don't know if it's because they have limits of what they do, but that's why these trusts are almost, what is it called, IPRF or whatever?
MFT.
Yeah, and ICRMT, they're consortiums, right? So we all pull together, and those, and the other ones like Travelers and stuff, they're pretty high, So you're going to have the same amount of agencies, but one broker can bring all those to us. It just happens that we were kind of split because we had three different people knocking on our door.
Okay. Any other questions? We do have a first and a second, so I'll entertain a vote at this time. Ms. Cook, could you call the roll, please?
Ms. Palestrina?
No.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Fodor?
Aye.
Mrs. General?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Mr. Poe?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Next, we have a contract to accept, or vote to accept, for a well rehabilitation. We've talked about this a lot. This was in our budget to rehabilitate well 13. They did go out to bid. the project amount is there, was where we thought it would be based on the numbers that we approved with the budget. What did I miss, Ms. Seehausen? Nothing?
Good point.
Bad?
So the amount that you have there is not what we thought it would be, correct? Okay,
Well,
so, but,
that's a lot.
correct, so the amount, I just want to make sure that I'm transparent, the amount that's on your, and in your thing is not what we thought it was gonna be, but that is what it came back with, the highest price motor that is in there, so it's the top of the line. We will not be using that. We're hopeful that when they take it out, we'll be able to repair it. If not, we are going to go with a cheaper thing because that's what we're gonna do.
I remember when we talked about this in the last budgeting cycle, that we were going to bid, or we were going to bid and get prices for if we had to replace the pump. But if you remember, or the motor rather, but if you remember, we just pulled a pump out of the ground that was in the ground for 15 years and we thought that pump was gonna be junk. And they pulled that pump and they were able to rebuild it. So,
But I have to ask for the high amount.
yeah, what I'm saying is that like, what I meant by this is what we thought it was going to be is we've discussed this as worst case.
Oh, okay.
We discussed that this was gonna be worst case and we were gonna quote as such as we have to replace it, but we're crossing our fingers, toes and arms and legs so that we don't have to replace the pump and that it was rebuildable.
Okay.
So one thing that I want to point out is the engineering estimate, when we did the budget, was at $400,000.
I understand, but the conversation at the time was is if we have to replace the pump, it was gonna be exponentially higher.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm going to chime in really quickly if I can. Sorry, just to add some context to that was in the letter. Hi, I'm Steve. Good to see you all. The budget when it was prepared did not account for the fact that the motor was going to require a replacement. Now we still don't know, as Mayor mentioned, that whether it is going to have to require a replacement, but we are assuming worst case scenario at this point based on what we know. The equipment is inoperable based on all the testing that has been done to date. It seems likely that there's an issue with the motor. So we wanted to bid this out with the worst case scenario, include replacement of the motor with an equivalent motor that is by the same manufacturer as what currently is there. But we did put alternates in the bid in case there are other options, so that there are other options for replacing the motor or converting the motor, which gets into semantics, but is a less expensive way to rehabilitate the motor for reuse. So again, the budget number that was originally prepared, that was before the equipment failed and that we understood that the motor may or likely would need to be replaced. And that accounts for one of the reasons why this came in over budget. The other reason is because this motor, which I've started getting some explanations from the suppliers and manufacturers, but for a number of different reasons, the motor came in exorbitantly high, much higher than I've ever seen. I was estimating that it would be between 150, 175,000. It came in almost 400,000. But again, thankfully, we have other options on the table. If it goes down that path, we can reduce the price. Sorry, I just thought that explanation would be helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Dennison.
When was the motor pulled?
It hasn't been yet, I don't think.
Sorry, I have a question. This isn't the well that we did the pump on, right?
No.
Okay. So on that one, we pulled the pump to see what needed to be done before we ever bid or did anything. Why aren't we pulling a motor to see before we approve the worst case scenario bid?
Because we actually use this well. This wasn't a well that was half built and left in the ground.
Is this, and I understand, is this the one that we just did the icing on?
The ice pigging?
The ice pigging?
Yes, that is correct.
Is it working when we ice pigged it?
It
We
was
experienced an
working
electrical
at that
event
time.
that we think probably damaged the motor.
Sorry, what do we mean by an electrical event that damaged a motor in the well?
Probably like a big power surge or something like that, like you'd lose a refrigerator or some other appliance in your home.
And we don't have surge suppression or,
Oh, we do, but eventually those fail as well. I mean, we have surge suppression and all kinds of high dollar equipment that this event it was no match for. So, I mean, either that or it was a combination of the surge failing and the surge suppression failing at the same time. I mean, it was older to begin with, I believe.
So it's not working right now at all.
That well is not being used at all.
How are those people getting water?
We have multiple wells within the village that backfill. I mean, they're all connected. So it's a matter of one just works a little bit harder to supply the water demand.
And the demand is not as high as.
Because it's the winter.
Correct.
Yeah, so appreciate that. And if that's the case, why wouldn't we pull the motor and look at it while we have lower demand and backup wells feeding it to see what it would be before we approve a $400,000 worst case expense with even potential lower cases? Why wouldn't we just pull it to see what's wrong?
Because this allows you to still move the project forward. We have all the bases covered for what would potentially, the repairs would potentially be between the base bid items and the mandatory alternate bid items. So we have all that pricing. It was done in a competitive environment to try to get the best pricing possible for all the scenarios that would have to potentially occur for rehabilitation. Instead of working with one contractor, having them remove the equipment, inspect it, and potentially have the opportunity to upcharge at that time for the repairs. This is the normal way that the well rehabilitations happen. Yes, there's uncertainty before you remove the equipment, but there are certain paths and certain items that you understand could occur. And you put those items in the bid schedules, either the base bid or the mandatory alternate bid items, so that you get pricing for them up front. After they do the inspection of the equipment, you already have the pricing in place and you can make quick decisions and move forward with the rehabilitation.
Has anybody explained why the price increase is so significant?
Byron Jackson is a motor manufacturer that gets a lot of their sourcing from overseas. And so there has been a significant upcharge to their manufacturing process for these motors recently. An alternate manufacturer, Sunstar, is more locally sourced. And so, meaning in the United States, so they were able to keep their costs down, much more competitive in this case.
Yeah, because I agree with you.
If we go with it's one bid, it's bid for water. And I just want to understand this. So water well then recommended this $400 and some $1,000 motor, but we're going to go with a cheaper motor if we need to do the motor, and then that's a different contractor, but we're giving the bid to Waterworks. That's what I'm not understanding.
No, the base bid includes the Byron Jackson motor for $400,000. We put that in there as part of our project manual and base bid and specifications to replace in kind with the motor that you currently have. So that was our recommendation to put that as a base bid item, not knowing that it was going to come in this expensive. And then we also put in as a mandatory alternate to get additional pricing, an alternative manufacturer, Sunstar, whose motors have been used significantly in this area. They are reputable, and we believe that they are an equivalent, and we would be comfortable using them in place of Byron Jackson, which you currently have.
So does Water Well Solutions then because we're giving them the max of the 706,000. So do they listen to us then when we say we want the cheaper motor, or they're just going to go for the max?
We dictate those terms, right?
Okay. That's
so
what
that's a mandatory alternate bid item. They've already provided the pricing for it. What we're suggesting is you award on the base bid amount, and then we will change order deduct whatever equipment in that we want at the appropriate time.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Dennison, is there a reason why we wouldn't go with the cheaper motor?
In this case, no.
And cheap is a bad word. I think if somebody sees this, they're like, why are you putting cheap stuff in our motor?
Less expensive.
Less expensive motor. Cheap, not a
In
quality
this case,
term
absolutely
of
not.
cost.
Typically, these motors, when I've seen these bid historically, they're very close in price. And so it was a surprise to me to see this increase in Byron Jackson's motor. But now I'm getting some intel to explain why that's the case. For me, it would be a no-brainer to go with Sunstar in this case.
And the quality of Sunstar would be not a concern.
It's not a concern, no.
Does the less expensive motor have a less length in warranty?
No, same warranty, 1 year manufacturer's warranty.
Seems great for that panic money, right?
Yeah.
Where is the Sunstar? Where is
Correct.
that one? Is that also coming from overseas?
No, that's they make that in Texas.
Okay.
With parts from.
So why wouldn't we just do the bid for the Sunstar? Why are we doing it at the more expensive if you're saying there would be no reason to ever use the more expensive?
I think that they found that, Mr. Dennison, you found out the prices after the bids came back, right? And that's what's kind of dictating, yeah.
This process in advance of us, like knowing or more knowing that we would probably have to have a replacement, if that makes sense.
Well, no, the replacement isn't what I'm worried
The
or
award, you're
asking
asking
about.
about
It's the
the
fact that
award?
on the replacement, you've said Sunstar, and I think that's the $165,000 price I see on there, if I'm looking at the right thing or part of it, versus the 400,000. Why would we set the motion tonight at a $400,000 price that you're saying we wouldn't use ever? That it would be the Sunstar if it does need to be replaced, because it has the same quality, same warranty. It's just locally made, so it's a lot less expensive.
Procedurally, I think I understand what you're saying, I believe, and procedurally, I think the right way to go about this is you award on the base bid amount and understanding that you're going to change order after the fact to the less expensive amount. So it's kind of semantics, but you're awarding to, yes, the base bid amount for the larger or the higher price motor, understanding going into it that you have options that are going to reduce the price through a change order.
Okay. Thank you.
Dave's first.
Do we know, there's 4 other companies here that did not bid. Do we know why they did not bid?
I have yet to catch up with Lane. They submitted a bid 3 minutes after the bids were due. So we did not open or entertain their bid, as is legally, I believe, the right way to handle those situations. And so Waterwell Solutions ended up with a low bid. Now, those are the 2 contractors I would have expected to see bid. Their pricing is usually very comparable. I really doubt that Lane's bid would have been significantly less. I can't say that, of course. But you know, that's my suspicion. If you were thinking about going back out the bid again, in my opinion, I think it's just prolonging it and you would probably end up with the same result.
Mr. Dennison, just one more question for me. If I'm reading the agenda supplement, EEI's total base bid estimate was it the 440,000 was the estimate? No. Right?
Yeah, that was the estimate. Yep.
That was the original estimate. And even if we go with the less expensive motor, it's at 561,795. Is there another reason why the extra 120,000 over the estimate? Like, I understand the one that you're talking about where that motor came in super high, but it's still 120,000 over what you had, or not you, but EEI had put in as what they estimated this project cost. Any feedback on that?
Let me see. Look at these numbers again. One of the reasons was the pumping assembly was a little bit more expensive. That was about almost $15,000 more. The column piping was the other big thing. So all the work related to the piping was more expensive. If you look at the comparison of the engineer's estimate versus how the bids came in, those piping prices fluctuate all the time. They outsource that work. They don't do that work in-house. And so it's up to who they're outsourcing it to and what they're charging at a particular time, and also is highly contingent on steel prices for that type of piping. So those would be the reasons why that was about 60,000 higher if you took the motor out of the equation. Yeah, those, I can't think of anything else of significance or see anything else significantly that was above our estimate in the line items.
Gotcha. And your engineering estimate is that left column, correct?
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of that left column is 585,000. Am I reading that correct?
I'm seeing 448.05. That's when you add the mandatory alternate bid items. Sorry, I see what you're looking at now. When you add the mandatory alternate bid items in, it's a little misleading. It's 585,025. What you should be looking at is above that. The total base bid is the 448.05 comparative to the 706,616.
Okay, but the 706 represents the $400,000 motor, not the whatever 100 and something thousand.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
One last one, dealing with, as we're looking at that last column, delivery time in weeks, and some of those are 41 weeks, 36 weeks. Is this project going to be able to be done within this fiscal year, or
It will be
stretching it
tight
to
to get
another?
done this fiscal year. It's a good question. That's another factor into the motors, right? So
Mhm.
because you can see new pumping assembly is 30 weeks.
Mhm.
A new motor for the Byron Jackson is 46 weeks.
Mhm.
There are options. So mandatory alternate item B for a factory built pumping assembly would be, they don't know, but they said approximately 12 to 24 weeks. We would know more after we got closer to ordering that equipment at that particular time. That would potentially reduce the time for the new pumping assembly if we went down that path. And then the Sunstar motor is 18 weeks instead of 46 weeks. So significantly less time to get that. So point being, it's going to be tight to get this done by the end of the fiscal year, but that is the hope.
Okay, because I mean,
Not all bad because we don't have this amount of money in the budget, so.
I'll say we may not want it to
Okay.
come out of this.
Exactly.
okay, but then we're also then coming up against the summer months and the spring months where we're using more water, and we've got wells that are picking up the slack right now, so. Okay,
That
Even if it just goes into, even if it just goes in
back
May,
online in May.
that gets it into the next fiscal year.
yeah,
Yeah. You could finish it up in May, have them finish it up in May, finish their billing in May, and get it back online by Memorial Day, which is always that magic cutoff when you start using more water.
thank you.
All right.
Do we know, was this one of the wells and projects in the capital plan?
It was prepared to be rehabilitated, not to be blown out.
Correct.
And have we diagnosed the issue that let the, how was it stated, the
The
electrical
electrical
event?
event.
And are we mitigating any future electrical events at this location?
I know Mark's been all over it. Mark is, I think it happened like right at the day I was over there, I believe. The day that we did, we had a tour of the plant and there was water coming out. Is that the same?
No,
No, that was a different area.
yeah, no.
But I know Mark has been all over it. So the answer to your question is that I'm going to trust that they're going to see whatever they need to do to mitigate it. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion approving a resolution awarding a contract to Water Well Solutions for well 13. So
Seconded.
questions, comments? It is money, so we're going to do a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Robinson,
Aye.
Ms. Fodor, Ms. General,
Aye.
Mr. Kelly,
Aye.
Mr. Poe,
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Performance bond for Old Dominion. They're done with their project over there. We're refunding their bond. Is that what this is?
Just releasing it. So when the project is finished,
Yep.
whether they have a lot of credit or performance guarantee bond, there's a resolution to officially release it. we can return it to the developer.
And we've accepted all the public improvements and all that, or no?
I'll turn that to Mr.
Yeah, correct. We did accept the public improvements. And this is the maintenance bond. So it's been through its 1-year maintenance period. They completed a punch list. And this is the improvements on the Old Dominion property. There's a public water main that loops around the building. That's the primary improvement. So it is accepted. It's gone through the maintenance period, done the punch list, and now we're releasing the bond.
Mr. Paulson, the letter from EEI says a maintenance punch list has been issued for the improvements of Ryan Drive, and the items will be addressed in the spring. So it makes it seem like the punch list hasn't been completed.
Yes, correct. There are 2 bonds. There were 2 plan sets, 2 bonds. One is for the Ryan Drive right-of-way improvements, the extension of Ryan Drive, extension of water main, sanitary sewer. And so there was still a punch list they were not able to complete before the weather turned on Ryan Drive. So we are still holding the maintenance bond for Ryan Drive improvements, and that'll be released next year after they complete the punch
Okay,
list.
so this is separate from that. Okay.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion approving the resolution for the release of a performance bond for Old Dominion.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can call the roll, please.
Ms. Fodor? Aye. Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Mrs. Palastrellini? Aye. Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next is one of my favorite topics, bucket trucks. So currently we have a 1989 international bucket truck that we bought from O'Shea Electric when they went out of business. I don't know, 2015 or so maybe. We bought the truck.
That's about right.
We bought the truck and it was 1999 and 2015, but it was really cool because we got a really good deal on it. And we use it like crazy instead of having to borrow it. But fast forward, it's 2026 now and the truck needs a little bit of work. So we had in the budget for $109,000 to buy a new truck, and we found a used one to 2019, not quite as old as the last one we bought after 15 years old, but it's still a pretty good deal, and it seems to be able to do everything that they public works crews want to do, and it's got a clean Carfax record and all that good stuff. So, any questions from the board?
What are they gonna do with the old one? The old one, they're getting rid of it because they can no longer certify it, correct?
It did pass certification. However, one of our guys honestly kind of got stuck in the lift and like we had to like manually move the arm around to get it back in place. So it's time
It's just time for it to go out.
Yeah.
To go to a new home. It's just time for it to go.
Are we selling the old
we
one?
probably will,
We will sell it or auction it or something.
yes. Yeah.
We're not gonna keep it. Why, do you need a bucket truck?
No, I don't wanna keep it.
No, we're not, it's not gonna go out back to die. So we're gonna get rid of this stuff. We're gonna find the most, I don't know, what most financially responsible way to dispose of said equipment. How's that?
And it's comparable to the one we have?
It's quite different than the one we have. Actually.
Yes,
I seen it, you got pictures, but I don't have any pictures, so.
Yeah, so this is a Ram 5500, which is, it's a commercial vehicle, but it's not as large. We have currently we have an international like semi chassis. They build, it's like a class 3 chassis. So this is a smaller truck. It is commercial, but it's got a high GVRW and it'll be plenty for what they need to do. So it'll actually be easier for our guys to drive and maneuver around town. Derek would be excited. They'd be happy to have it.
Just the arm.
The arm works good.
Yeah, and
So Dave got, so it's located in Indiana. And so Dave had, the Alltech, the dealer, send pictures and videos of the truck operating. And it looks really good.
Okay.
yeah, I don't see any. I don't know what color it is either.
It's white, I believe.
The Dodge is white.
Perfect. Not all Dodges are white.
Most.
My wife's Durango happens to be black. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of a bucket truck for $99,000.
So moved.
$99,900, sorry. Still set. Ms. Clark, could you call the roll?
Mr. Jernerbro? Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Ms. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Man, Public Works again, they just keep wanting us to spend money. Payment number 8 to Lamp Incorporated, we're just over $1 million. Work's already been done, we own the money. Any other questions?
Yes.
Well, the Board of Events should be able to go over and tour it prior to opening?
Anytime you want. All you gotta do is call Missy Housen and she'll set it up.
Originally, this is set to open in January, was the estimate. We come back for our next board meeting early January. What is our anticipated open date? Is there ribbon cutting
So,
scheduled?
We haven't scheduled the ribbon cutting or anything yet, but they're looking mid to late February.
Oh, it's moved back a month?
Yeah.
I thought they were on schedule.
They encountered some delays, but our biggest win in this whole conversation was the fact that we almost didn't get paid before the weather changed. And we just got it in the weekend before all of the snow because there were some delays with the asphalt plant and that kind of stuff.
And the fiber, getting the fiber in there.
So we were so happy that we were able to get it paid before all of the snow in January or November 28th. Because if they didn't get it paid, we would have been in there in May.
That I understand, but we're still delayed,
Yeah.
like 6 weeks or a month.
3 to 4 weeks, I think.
Which is normal for that size of a building.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets turned over and we can start moving stuff in?
Mm-hmm.
The other quick question is it shows that the balance to finish it is still 4.5 million, which is a third, and we're supposed to be in it next month. So is that all
So there's,
interior
if you
stuff?
look at the, drainage, which varies each time, so that will linger for a while, even after we've moved in. But, like we talked about, we're taking off about $1 million plus every month, so, yeah. It's expected.
Ribbon delivery and all that stuff.
Yeah, we don't have the furniture in, we don't have, there's a lot more to it than just the building itself that will go in towards the end, so.
Okay, that's what I thought, it's like it's 30%, so and it's in a month.
So when I went, the last construction meeting that I attended has been several weeks ago, they did say that, the pricing had come back very favorably, and they may be able to, quote, return some money to us, which would help us pay for some of the things that weren't in the contracts, like the computer equipment and the audio visual stuff that wasn't actually in the bid. So we'll spend the money for sure constructing and equipping the garage.
I thought we had contingency built into the bid, though.
There was some contingencies as well, and I think only one thing there was one change order that, well, maybe more than one change order, but there was something that required use of contingency. I don't recall what that was. That was when Jay was here, earlier.
I know he still watches these, so it's nice that we can still blame him.
No, no blame in that. I mean, that's just, yeah.
I'll hear from him tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Jay.
Any other questions about the progress payment? I'll entertain a motion to approve the progress payment number 8 to Lamp for the Public Works facility.
So moved.
Second. Questions, comments? Please.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Mrs. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
We don't have anything on old business this evening. So next week, I do have, some old business. I guess this would fit into old business, talking about what's happening tomorrow. I should have waited for that to the end of the meeting.
Oh,
So, well, we'll wait to the end of, we'll wait to the end of the meeting because it's not on the agenda anyway, does it? Staff reports, police report. Chief Van is anxiously awaiting any questions. Any questions?
Just one, Chief, on the offense trends comparison, 24 to 25, we've pretty consistently been higher than or double what 24 was when we're looking at 25? There's one month where 25 dipped below. Do you or the police department have any thoughts or feedback of the increase?
So if you go down to, the next couple slides, there's more of a
The
breakdown.
tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look in the tables, you can see where those increases were. The one was in the simple assault, which I don't want to speculate, but that may be a reporting issue with, changing over to the new, to our new reporting system with, lesser included offenses. So if you have a battery, we're also counting an assault in there.
So we're counting it twice, the one incident twice.
It's very difficult to explain.
That's okay.
Does the new system collect things different?
It codes it differently. And sometimes you have, like you can't have a battery without an assault.
Okay.
So you're not really counting.
So it's not really representative that there were double the amount of incidents, it's
Right.
double the amount of reports.
Right, but that's not for all of it. That would be where those assault numbers would come from. But then if you look on the next slide, the crimes
Like
against
larceny, theft.
and society, you did have a number of increase in theft and in the fraud offenses.
Yeah.
And you really, the fraud offenses, it's a daily, obviously it's not daily that it comes in, but we have seen an increase there, but that's where those, so it's, what is it? Theft.
Destruction of
damage to
property.
property and the fraud offenses.
Yeah.
We've seen the increase.
Okay. I just didn't know if you were seeing trends that it just seemed like it's still small compared to other communities. Okay. I'm not making a comparison to other communities, just year over year, it seemed like a large increase, and I didn't know if you had thoughts on that increase.
I'm not really any further thoughts on it, other than to just kind of see where it's at. And the one thing that I would like to implement in the coming months is, since we have Stephen Corus that's going to the academy, I would like to implement a full-time detective when he's done training. And that will help us with our clearances and to help address some of those issues, where maybe having more specific attention on it by a full-time detective, we can further address some of those issues and drive some of those numbers down.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Chief, the updating of the emergency op plan, we're almost at 2 years on that one, and I know it was being rewritten. So
Yeah.
what is the status of that?
So I just received, just last month, I attend, every month I attend, quarterly, I attend the, Kane County's emergency management meeting for all emergency managers. And we just last month received the direction that we've been waiting for on that. And that's, the state actually had initially announced that they were going to, looking for much more stringent requirements for emergency operations plans for municipalities to be submitted through the counties to the state. But they actually, once they passed the guidance that they provided in the administrative order, actually reduced the restrictions and made it very broad, and so it kind of gave us the green light to move forward. And Kane County provided direction on what they thought we should definitely include, but it really put it more on us as far as creating a plan that's really customized for our community and the things that we would really encounter on a regular basis. And so I am working on that on the plan now, and I should have it done. I'm probably about 2/3 of the way done with it now. I took a county plan, like the overall county plan, and kind of using that as a template, and then reworking it to be specific for our community. And I think it'll end up being a good product in the end, but it should be coming out, hopefully in the first couple weeks of the new year.
Wonderful, thanks. I know that's not your fault. It's waiting for other people, so I totally get it. So I thank you for
I
that.
do work well on deadline. And the one other thing I wanted to mention was the accreditation. We just received notification today from ILEAP. We have one of the assessors that has been into our system and looking at where we're at in the process, in the accreditation process, and basically got the green light today to schedule a date for the on-site assessment, which would give us, that'd be the step to actually attaining that full accreditation. So we're pretty excited about that. Should be within the next, well, by the end of January, when we actually have an on-site inspection. And everybody will be involved in that in some way.
Chief, I see the picture of it too, and I just want to say thank you to you and the entire police department for working with the Girl Scouts for that giving tree. That was a great thing to do for the community, and just wanted to say thanks for hosting that in the office there. Hopefully everyone took tags and it was all taken care of.
We did, yep.
Okay, there's a streets report, a financial report as well. Do we have any questions on any of those?
I just want to say on the streets one, a huge thank you to Dave Starrett, to his entire staff. When we got all that snow, and more snow than I think we got at any one time last year, the roads in town were clear. They were easy to drive. The team was out there taking care of it, and you could really tell a difference between not Hampshire village roads, village roads.
Especially if you read stuff on Facebook.
I was going to say, on Facebook, the community was just talking positively about the difference of the two. And so just, I know they put a ton of work and a ton of hours when that stuff happens, but kudos to Dave and his entire team, because that's.
We need to post something on for the plow driver on Route 72 on our light up board out there.
So actually, we, funny you say that, because we have a lot of new residents, right? And Mo, I believe, worked with, came up with a new map for our website.
I will give credit to Tim Paulson.
Tim Paulson. So we have a brand new map, because before we had one that was kind of hand sketched. We kind of got beat up for it, first snowstorm. So we have a beautiful new map that explains who is responsible for what route and that kind of thing. So if residents have questions as far as why my roads not being plowed, maybe it's under the hands of the developer. Maybe it's, maybe you live on Route 72. Maybe you live on the county road, or maybe the township has to plow it, or whatever, or it could be us, or, but now there's a nice, beautiful map on snowplow operations on our website. And just remember, we do have a snowplow ride-along program. So if you have suggestions for our plow drivers, maybe you should ride along with them and learn about how it all works before you make suggestions.
That was more snow than we had all last year. That we got those last.
And the year before combined.
Yes, combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after they had a chance to get to it, you would have never told.
Right.
And still no white Christmas.
And they were already pre-salting tonight.
Yep.
Because I was coming here. Public Works is off.
Online.
Okay. BDC, do you have anything?
BDC met, so last week, excuse me, had a good conversation. We're still talking about comprehensive plan. We looked at what the RFP request for proposal that we're going to have as a village to send out, try to get bids for people to help with the comprehensive plan. Again, this is all a preparation for, as it would need to be approved in the coming budget for us to move forward with the new comprehensive plan. So that'll be something when the budget time comes that the village board will have to consider. But Mo, is there anything I missed? It was mainly the conversation. Yeah. It's a big project, and there's a lot of really great ideas from the commissioners, and making sure they're being very, very thoughtful in making sure the right things are included, and also where should we lean in. And there are good comments about, hey, we should probably expect the contractor that does the bid to come back and advise us how to do these things. And so just a huge thanks to the entire commission for working through it, because I think, and for Mo for leading us through that. It's been good conversations, but it is, if you think about it, as President Rita said, not having this can have detrimental effects, and having it can actually be not just a positive to avoid things happening, but also to encourage businesses and developers to come in and what the vision for the future of the village is. So the BDC is taking it pretty serious, and we'll be sending stuff to the village board later, Anything else?
That was it.
Any questions? Awesome. Back to you, sir.
Announcements? Anybody? No? I got a few. All right. I want to say thanks to Public Works and all the trustees and staff and everybody for putting together the parade and freezing in the cold and all of that, and handing out cookies and everything. It was a much smaller parade than we had hoped for, but hopefully next year, people will come back with a vengeance. You may notice, oh, yes.
While you're on parade, maybe a suggestion of shorten the route in the.
How can you shorten it?
No, for the winter one. It seems like nobody's on the sides.
Panama had people.
Well,
There was a few.
for whatever for whatever reason this year.
Just like down Main Street.
We will look into the parade route all the way around.
Okay.
How's that? We will evaluate.
Maybe it was the cold, I don't know, it just.
I think it should be longer. I'm sure Sam,
No,
Sam will take his chances, get shot at in the bucket truck.
I liked when you guys, when it came around the village, but I understand you say that, it's in good fair.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Give me a rifle.
State Street has people.
You could say a rifle.
I will say there,
Maybe it was the weather, I don't know.
to what President Reed was saying, the Public Works went out and did all these barricades.
Yes.
And set up a safe route. I had the pleasure of speaking with one of the officers at the end of State Street as we helped a resident that decided to go around the barricades find their way back on the other side of the barricades.
Is that the one that destroyed the barricades? Oh,
No, this is
somebody
a
destroyed the
different one.
barricades too.
And there was a resident who saw a barricade and decided the best thing to do was just to drive over the barricade and destroy it.
Yeah.
So when we question whether or not people are going to break through these barricades,
They are.
Or the guy that ended up,
eyes weren't lying.
or when we were saying, okay, hey, let's kick this parade off, and we look and there was a pickup truck in the middle of State Street full of people. How did that happen?
Now, I'm sure staff is going to talk about like how did people get around different barricades and where were they and stuff like that. But there is something to be said about having the different barricades and detour signs and the safety.
Safety of the people in front of them.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting, but it really helped having more bodies out in the traffic area.
There were no incidents, but it was just.
You guys may have noticed that there's more keypads in here on door handles, like one behind you, one over behind in the hallway toward the restrooms there. And the reason for that is we have some organizations that use this space outside of regular business hours. And before there was always, generally, if there was a meeting of some kind, there was always somebody here associated with the village. So we have instituted a policy here at Village Hall that and that we will be closing said doors when we know that there's going to be meetings. You guys will have access to get through them, and that is not an effort to try to keep trustees or staff out from where they need to be, but it's an effort to, if, as an example, Coon Creek has their meetings here, nobody's associated with the village that's in this space, they're all adults. We can trust them to be in this space, but we don't need to give them the ability to be back into the offices where the paperwork is and that kind of stuff. So
And if they get into some of these guys' desks and take candy, do we fill out a police report?
maybe we'll get maybe we should get locks for the drawers, maybe. So then we'd have to alter this from 1893, and I don't necessarily know that you guys want to do that, maybe. So, but anyway, that's what that's all about. I do want to cover one thing that's fairly important and one thing that's not important. Tomorrow, as we talk about through this process, you guys may have heard it. We talked at the board level about us redoing the phones here at Village Hall. In this building process with the Public Works, it was budgeted as part of that project to put in a phone system. The phone system that was budgeted for was $20,000, I think, was in the budget for a phone system just for Public Works. And we started this conversation with Jay before he left, and then Mary Jo and I had the same conversation. We didn't think that was a good idea. We had two aging phone systems. Basically, where we're at right now with the village is we have one number to call Public Works or water, one phone number to call streets, one phone number to call the Village Hall, one phone number to call the police department. There are two phone systems that are about 20 years old at both the police department and the Village Hall, and answering machines at water department and the sewer department. So we partnered with a company called Netrix, and we are implementing a Teams-based phone system where the staff has the ability to load an app on their village cell phone and make and receive calls through their village cell phone as if they were sitting here at Village Hall. All of the phone numbers will come to one place, and then rather than the phones ringing, they hit an auto attendant and they get to pick and choose where they need to be, whether it be Public Works, Police Department, or the Village Hall. It allows a bunch of different flexibility. As an example, most of our staff, believe it or not, is mobile. They don't sit at a desk because they're out working. So the perpetual game of phone tag that is ultimately created when a resident calls, it will be cut down, because when Public Works is called, their apps will ring on their cell phone and they will be able to answer wherever they are. Public Works guys are really excited about that, because then they don't have to go back and check answering machines, especially during snowstorms and that kind of stuff. There are teams that will get notified when voicemails come through and stuff like that, which is really exciting, and they don't need to call into a phone system to get their voicemails. Another thing that's exciting for staff is when you make a call out from this application, the number is masked as the Village Hall. So like police officers calling back residents and that kind of thing are not having to give out cell phone numbers and that kind of stuff. And we're able to forward calls when people are off and all this kind of stuff. I say that all to say that we're not investing in a physical phone system. We're utilizing licensing that we have for the most part, but we had to upgrade some licensing for people's emails. As you see, we already use Microsoft Teams here to meet. Everybody has a direct dial phone number, so we don't have extensions any longer and that kind of stuff. But I tell you all that to say, as we go, the numbers will be ported at Village Hall, Public Works, Police Department tomorrow afternoon. Staff has all been trained on this new system. We've been working really hard. Staff has been working really hard to try to get this, all the moving pieces, all up and going.
Actually, the mayor has. He has done most of the legwork for us.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you can say that, but it's a robust system. It's light in footprint, but it's a robust system. And we've been waiting on is the new internet connection to be installed at the police department, which was lit up a couple weeks back. So now that they've got a fast enough internet connection at the police department, we can go live with this new system. Staff's really excited about it. You guys all have licensing to it. There's not an auto attendant that's going to say press 1 to speak to Trustee Coe, press 2 to speak to Trustee Balestrini. But that being said, if somebody calls in and asks to speak to you, staff can transfer the call directly to your team's number. I'm going to send out information to all of you, so you guys all know how to use it. But if you would download Teams on your iPads here, or if your cell phones, if you choose, you can make and receive calls through that app completely separate of your phone, your phone. And when you dial or call a resident, it will show Village Hall's phone number. And so you will have a dedicated village phone number. It's a 224 number that you can give residents. That's not your personal cell phone anymore. So all of that information and calls and all that kind of stuff stays within the village ecosystem, if you will. Again, it's a big learning curve. Staff is pretty excited about it. I think maybe they're just excited because it was the mayor's idea. I don't know, but I think that it solves a lot of problems that a lot of staff have based on the fact that they don't spend a whole lot of time at a desk in this organization, and it allows them to be mobile and work wherever it is they are. So we've got physical phones for some people. The majority of our users are just going to utilize their cell phones. If they want to, you can answer on their computers too. If they want, they can use their computers as their phone. If they want to, we're looking at like headsets and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of flexibility baked into this. It's a tried and true system. It can use in other places. And the only difference that the residents are going to have is now, no matter what number they call, they're going to hit the same system. Because as of Friday at 4 o'clock, all of those phone numbers point to one place. And then, so eventually all those other numbers are going to be not published anymore. So the only number for the village will be that 683-2181. And then they can get to wherever it is they need to go. And the only difference for the resident will be is instead of either one having to leave a message because nobody's there, or two, speaking to a real life person because we don't have an auto attendant. Now they're gonna hit an auto attendant and have to make a choice as to where they wanna go, whether it be public works and that kind of stuff. And I do want to say thank you to a friend of mine named Jimmy Neese, who is our voice recording artist. Is a friend of mine. He does a lot of advertising for the company I work for. And I said, hey, Jimmy, I said, how much would you charge us to make the recording? He goes, just send me the scripts. So when you call and you hear the voice on the phone, it's not mine, it's not Mary Jo's, it's just this guy named Jimmy. So, you'll really enjoy it. So. If you have any, I'm going to send an email, or Mary Jo's going to send out an email later on tonight with instructions and kind of recap and stuff like that. Please reach out to with any questions.
It'll be him.
Can you repeat that? Please reach out to me with any questions.
I just have one. Are all staff issued village cell phones?
The staff no. So that's a great question. The staff that do not have village cell phones have physical phones on their desk that they are able to utilize for this purpose, or they're able to use their village-issued computer. There's been a couple of staff identified through this process that will be issued village cell phones for that purpose.
But we're not asking, I just want to make sure we're not asking staff to put this on their personal phone.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay.
We actually are encouraging them not to do that, even though they can.
Okay, perfect.
So again, through this process, if there was a need to invest in some kind of equipment to make this, whether it be headset, physical phone device for the desk, whether it be a cell phone, because some staff, it's time to finally do that or something like that, then that's a cost we're gonna. Unfortunately, it's just the cost of doing business now. I mean, we need to be able to do this, and we identified that spending, really what started this was, why are we going to spend $20,000 on a phone system for a building that people aren't going to be in? Dave's hardly ever at his desk. Bill's hardly at his desk. Why would we invest into a phone system that they're not going to use? And the fact that the number one complaint we always get from residents is, I call Village Hall, they can't transfer me to any, and I really needed to call the police department, so they had to give me the number to go to someone else. So we said, here, hold on, let me give you that number, and we hang up with them. Well, by that time, they're already pissed off when they call us, and then they're calling the other people, and they're equally as mad because we couldn't help them to begin with. The other thing of it is that when they call the police department, right now, we have a recording that says, if this is not an emergency, if it's an emergency, call 911. If it's not an emergency, here's the number to non-emergency dispatch. This phone system has the ability, if this is not an emergency and you would like to speak to Kane County Dispatch, press 1, and it takes the call and sends it right to dispatch. Mm-hmm. So now, no matter where the resident calls, they can get help, and it doesn't matter whether we're here, whether we're not. The phone system acts different on holidays and that kind of stuff. It's going to be good. It's going to be a learning curve, but it's going to be good. But you guys need to be aware that that's happening, because somebody's going to complain. Yeah, called Microsoft Teams. Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay, so download that on your iPads and you can play around with it. Any call that you make through Teams will be masked as of tomorrow afternoon as Village Hall. So
just as a note, the Teams app on the iPads, if you ever have to attend our meetings remote, because I've had to do that, you have to have the Teams app on your iPad anyway. So
well, and that's one. Thank you for bringing it up. We are all now going to have the licensing to attend meetings remotely through your iPad. So if there's ever a time where you cannot be at this meeting physically, you can download Teams and join the meeting remotely, and you can conduct all of your business right through the Village iPad, which is a big deal, because we were kind of not able to do that. Next, and finally, besides wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, we have some celebrating to do. Oh, darn it. Well, she's going to get the celebrating first. You may have seen on the news that there's a certain football team that's expanding their search now, that it's not all going. Well, they said that they were expanding their search. So we have a letter here that I would like to send to Kevin Warrens expressing our interest in the Bears.
No, he wants out of Illinois.
I don't care, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a problem with me sending a letter to the Bears and say, hey, come and take a look at it?
Can I sign it?
Yeah. Do we have a special area that we're looking at, or?
No, I can't.
Any area they want.
Any area that they want. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You can use my backyard.
Look, let's be real, that the chances of the Bears saying, hey, you know, Hampshire is a nice place to be, although I really hope so, I don't think that we fit into their economic equation. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and I wanted to ask a board, if anybody vehemently denied or was against me sending this letter, doesn't sound like so, we'll put it on the village letterhead, we'll send it to them.
May I suggest that it goes into the capsule, the time?
Yes, perfect. We'll make two
That was the
copies.
year that we invited the Bears to come out to Hampshire.
May I add, if you would like a response from the Bears, also send it to George McCaskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. George reads every piece of mail he gets and he will reply, whether it is.
Just don't say it, Brett Favre.
If it's him personally, or he will delegate somebody to reply, but George will reply to you.
We'll change it.
All right, we'll get it. So send it to me, please.
Yes, he
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
the time capsule.
Well, you want to do both. It's going to go Warren and McCaskey.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll revise it.
Next celebration time.
McCasty might want you to go to Sycamore.
Yeah.
Maybe.
May the record show that the clerk is saying very disparaging things about the village manager.
So you know your village manager will not be here on the 15th.
Ooh, good video.
Hey, you guys ready?
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Percy.
And we
Is that 6-7? You can hit me, it's fine.
Then you set out for a new village residence.
No, we can't do it, it's bad
The
luck.
last one hasn't been found.
Kevin Warren might get a job soon.
Where's my grandkids want to go get your kids? Oh, this isn't a very nice wish. Sorry.
All right, motion to adjourn? Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Oh my God, nice.